Gleb, your place.
Thank you. Can you see my presentation here? Maybe not yet. Shouldn't it be here? Yes. Now it works. So, hi everyone, my name is Gleb. I am founder of Mangata Finance, and what we are doing is we are building a better cross-chain future. Mangata is basically a settlement layer which sits in between different blockchain, of course, powered by Polkadot. But before I can talk about how to make cross-chain future right, I have to give you a quick overview of what is currently wrong with it. So, how do we transfer value across chains? There are two main ways everyone are doing it. Of course, first are centralized exchanges. Everyone are using them. All of them are trustful, not trustless, quite other way around, because even they wouldn't be, if we wouldn't be trustful, all of us wouldn't be hurt by all the fails of centralized exchanges. I believe most of the people who listening to that presentation lost some funds due to centralized exchanges failure, and all the regulations are actually protecting them from you and not you from them. And here are bridges. Bridges a couple years ago was thought to be the right way to build the cross-chain future, allowing both people and projects to communicate between each other. But there are a number of issues. First of them is sometimes bridges are as trustful as centralized exchanges, just being a multi-sig account, which led to a lot of loss of funds, estimated to be 2 billion just single previous year. And because bridges are introducing new security assumptions, they are compromising entire cross-chain structure of our applications. Why it is important? Because in this scheme, in which every chain do have their own security and their own security assumptions, the overall security of the system is the security of the weakest link. And while chains which are connected by a bridge can be well established and well secure, security of the bridge can cause a wrapped token or bridged token to fail. So, can we do better than this? I believe we do. And a cross-chain structure which allows us better security, or better to say not to introduce new security assumptions, are rollups. Rollups are designed in a way when the security of the native chain to which it is connected is inherited without introducing new layers of risks, new economic security, or new multisigs. So, how can we use this to create a better cross-chain future, a better structures? That's exactly what we are trying to do with Mangata by introducing a cross-chain atomic swaps in automated market-making environment. Basically, what Mangata is and what we are trying to build is a cross-chain, a multi-rollup which is connected to multiple layer ones without introducing new security assumptions and allowing users to safely and securely transfer tokens between rollups. It sounds simple, unless it's not. Because while rollups as on their own do not introduce new security assumptions, it is no longer true in a cross-chain environment. There are two fundamental issues to them which need to be addressed. First, we need proof correctness of execution of the data which is foreign to layer 1 without disclosing it. In a very simple words, Ethereum cannot know about Polkadot state. Polkadot state cannot reliably know about Ethereum state. And still, however, somehow they need to communicate to transfer value between two. And the second issue which arose in cross-chain environment is verification of rollup deposit, which is not an issue in case of single-chain rollup. Let me dive a bit deeper into it. First one is proving correctness of execution of things which are happening in the rollup environment. So, in a classical rollup, a batch which is provided by sequencers to layer 1 is just a composition of the transactions which are happening on layer 2. What rollups are actually doing, they take the load from layer 1, processing transactions and creating a batch which fits into the system and is based on the state which is already known to layer 1. So layer 1 can always verify the state transitions are correct and no foreign state, no unknown or wrong malfunctioning state is introduced here. But in cross-chain world, it becomes more complicated because now value is not necessarily returned to the original ecosystem. Not necessarily the data which is coming to layer 1 is part of its previous state. Value can go outside of layer 1 and come from the outside. So even if layer 1 Ethereum in this case can verify every transaction which is touching Ethereum tokens, they have no idea about Polkadot tokens which is coming out of nowhere from Ethereum perspective. Because of that, we decided to create a representation for cross-chain transfers in the form of transfers to and from Mangata sovereign account. So when this batch is submitted to layer 1, what layer 1 sees, instead of cross-chain transfer, instead of saying we are transferring tokens to Polkadot or to any other chain, we are saying, oh, those tokens are just going to Mangata Ethereum account. And when some value is coming from outside, we are saying, yeah, it's coming from our Mangata account. And from that point of view, from layer 1 point of view, cross-chain transfers are just transfers to another account, just another player account. However, how can we make it secure? How can we guarantee to layer 1 that value is actually happened and user actually requested that transaction? Here, we can do it exactly because we are connected to a Polkadot as a relay chain. Because relay chain is aware about any state alterations, about any operations which are happening on Mangata, well, because they are parachain. And relay chain in the process of verification, of validating our transactions, have to re-execute everything, we can be sure the correctness is there. The question, however, is how can we provide that correctness to a layer 1, to Ethereum? And our understanding is to guarantee or provide the proof of correctness of our execution is enough to provide finalization of Mangata transactions, of Mangata blocks. Because if block do have contain some wrong state transitions, it will never be validated by the relay chain. And that is why providing a proof of validation, proof of finalization from the relay chain is enough to prove the correctness of execution. So layer 1 may not know about where exactly those tokens are coming from, but they have a guarantee someone else who has the information have executed all the state transfers and vetted them as correct ones. How are we achieving it? There is a naive way how we can provide a proof of finalization from Polkadot to any other chain. Yeah, I just thought it's blinked because it's too information heavy, but I will try to explain it in a simple words. So just providing a state transition, so Mangata block, with all signatures of Polkadot validators will be enough to prove the finality. Because anyone who can check the signatures and validate them against the list of validators can be sure those validators have signed the block, the state transition, as a correct one. However, that would mean validating on-chain, verifying on-chain 800 signatures, and that is a lot of work. Because of that, instead of providing to layer 1 the state transfer and all the signatures, we are cheating a bit using a zero-knowledge connection, which we anyway will use for zero-knowledge rollup connectivity. So what we are doing is we verifying all the signatures off-chain, well, actually on-chain, but for layer 1 it is off-chain, and providing only the proof of that verification, that validation have been made. So instead of verifying every of the signatures, layer 1 do need to verify only the proof of that verification. it increases the gas efficiency in case of Ethereum almost 1,000 times compared to naive solution. However, that structure is not enough to guarantee the security of the multi-rollup ecosystem. And I will explain the second part right now. In classic rollups, we do not need to care about the state of the rollup itself. We do not need to care about the correct reads from layer 1. Why so? Because every state transition from the rollup eventually comes back to layer 1 in the form of update. And if some state transitions cannot be calculated by layer 1, the state will be rejected. Because of that, rollup don't even need to be a blockchain. It can be a centralized database, eventually consistent, because inconsistent data cannot come back to layer 1. But in our case, it is different because we do need to take care about correct reads of layer 1, because remember, value can come to different ecosystems. It's not necessarily coming back to the same layer 1 where value is coming from. In form of tokens, eventually, yes. So Ethereum tokens coming to Mangata parachain, sitting there and eventually going back. So from Ethereum point of view, it's just a transfer from Ethereum account to Mangata and back to Ethereum account. But those tokens can be swapped for Polkadot native tokens and the value can be taken away. That is why we do need to verify every deposit which is coming to Mangata blockchain. And unlike connection of the parachain itself, and unlike proof of finality, we are using optimistic way here with a dispute period. So when users are putting tokens into their Mangata account from layer 1 with Ethereum or anything else, they are actually just requesting the deposit which will be processed after the dispute period. What it gives us, because there is a dispute period and we have a number of sequencers who are decentralized, any of the sequencers can cancel the deposit request. And because we already have two actors, so one sequencer creating the read and putting the state on-chain, and another sequencer canceling the request, layer 1 knowing the truth. And anyone can bring that information back to layer 1, and the stake of the sequencer whose wrongdoing will be slashed. So if correct deposit was cancelled, the sequencer who created cancellation will be slashed. In case the read is incorrect, like in this image, and correctly cancelled, the sequencers who create malicious read will be slashed. Of course, that system requires stake by sequencer to be made on layer 1. However, that system has one big benefit. Even one honest sequencer is enough to cancel all the malicious reads. And I want to point out, one honest sequencer is required for the safe cross-chain interaction. As long as we are using the rollup for connectivity with its own layer 1 only, we don't even need one honest sequencer, because just like in any other rollup solution, the reads will be verified upon updates on layer 1. That is how we creating it from the architectural level. From the implementation level, the rollup functionality is nested inside Mangata runtime code. Right now we do use Starkware Madara as an environment for zero-knowledge proof, and basically the code which is related to Mangata business logic, to cross-chain business logic, is included into Mangata runtime. So instead of verifying every transaction or every function which Mangata do have, we're only creating the proofs for transactions which are interesting and understandable for layer 1. Is it a hint I have to end soon? I will take it like that. As a result, at the same time, Mangata is a parachain on Polkadot and a rollup to every connected layer 1, be it Ethereum and, in the future, other EVM blockchains. We do have a paper about other difficulties and our solution to cross-chain rollups. Because those two, like proof of finalization and verified reads, are just the beginning. There are another details like how to guarantee user fund withdrawability under any conditions, even if Mangata chain itself losing liveness, because every rollup have to provide that functionality, otherwise it's again just a bridge. And if you're interested, please take a look at have architectural details, implementational details, etc. That is how, with the help of the relay chain, which is an inevitable part of the cross-chain of the multi-rollup solution, we are going to be connected to everything. Thank you, and if you have any questions, I will be glad to answer them.
Raise your hands for a question. I will come to you. Good. No questions. If you have other questions, just ask him directly. He will be here around. So thank you very much. And now we will take round a break for 8 minutes, and then we'll continue.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.